Hello guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Kel, one of the Malaysia running YouTuber. Today I'm going to have a recap video on this race. Kuala Lumpur Standard Chartered Marathon. We already passed one of the biggest running event in Malaysia. It's already passed 2 weeks ago. A lot of memories, and I'm going to have a recap video talking about this race, how's the race go, good or bad, and the event itself. And besides that, I'm also going to talk about this one, the media pass that I'm going to got. One thing, full disclosure, I'm not get paid to become part of the media team. This media team is not part under the Dinringo event. I received the email 2 weeks before the event, and they invited me to become one of the media team that I can coverage all the contents, the media, everything, the interview by my own cost. I'm not get paid anything. So all the things is by my own cost. So all the event, all the video that you watch on that day, thanks to this pass. So let's start talking about the event itself. Let's start with the preparation of the marathon itself. I start preparing like 9 months ago, quite early, because once I know the date when is the Kuala Lumpur Standard Chartered Marathon, and I start my preparation work. Why? Because 2023 is one of my worst year after I came back from running. That is one of my worst timing in marathon. When I came back from running after COVID, when I start running, that is my worst timing. It really bong really hard during that time. I remember in 2023, I start bong at 22 kilometer. After the half marathon, I start to bong, and after the 26 kilometer, that's the worst part. I start to walk on the 26 kilometer all the way back to the end, and I finished 3 hours 30 minutes, over a bit by a few seconds, and that is my worst starting after COVID. So that's why I told myself this year 2024 I want to do it better than last year. That's why I start 9 months early. People start like 6 months early, but I start 9 months early when I start to build up the base of my long run. Once I know the date, I start to build up my long run 3 months before the marathon training block. So once I finish my building base, then I starting to move into my marathon base. But unfortunately, in the middle, there's something happened, but I still able to save it back and still train up to the race itself. During the marathon training block is around 22 weeks. I really put in speed work 2 times a week and 1 long run for the preparation. Luckily, I have a gang, the 4am gang, around 5 people. We train together and able to bring me up to the limit that I want. Even though most of the time I didn't attend the training because the training starts at 4am, I'm a bit tired or maybe lazy. So I already skipped some of the training, around 40 to 50% time I'm absent from the training. So if you guys really want to go for a training for marathon or half marathon or 10K, never ever skip so much of your training, especially you're going to train with people and you're going to have a target for the race. Otherwise, you will suffer a lot. And I also suffer, especially my last 10 kilometers. When I starting to suffer, the last 4 kilometers this year is my worst time ever. I suffer a lot. My both legs cramp all the way back, and I have to drag my body to the finishing line. During the race day, when I go into the pen itself, in my mind, I already set one target. That is 3 hours, 30 minutes. I shall not slower than that time. That is my last year target. So this is my target for the whole race. I should not go slower than that time. So once the flag off begin, I go a bit conservative. I always start to like to run on the left side of the road because I'm trying not to stand in the middle. I always like to run on either on the left or the right side, on the outside of the road, so that anything happen I can just jump off from the event itself. So I always like to start on the side rather than the middle. So if someone trips, so I can just jump off from the course itself. So I always start on the side. So when I start, I will run very conservative until 500 meters. Then I saw Michelle, Nizam and the gang, they're already running at that. So in my mind, I try to catch them and hop into their bus so they can bring my pace up. So for the first 30 kilometers in my mind is totally free because there's a gang together. When you're running in a group together at the same pace, at the same target, it's much more easy for you to run. So that's what inside my mind. So I hop onto them along the road for almost 30 kilometer, 30, 31 kilometer before I start to drop off. The pace actually is very nice running together with the group, a lot of talks, a lot of chats, a lot of jokes along the way. So everyone is running is much more comfortable because someone is setting the pace. So rather than am I run too fast or am I run too slow? So I just run together with the group itself all the way to 30 kilometer, 31 kilometer when I start to drop off from the group. The group run average pace is around 440 to 430 all the way to the 30 kilometer when my legs starting to hurt. At the 31, 32, my legs starting to hurt, unable to sustain the pace for so long. This is what I say earlier on the video is I'm lack of long run because I already missing a lot of long run with the gang. So that's starting to hurt me. So I have to back off after 32 kilometers. I'm starting to slow down my pace to 450 to 5 minutes all the way back to the race and reach 39 kilometers. Both of my thigh totally cramped. Both of my thigh is just hardened. Luckily, I bring a cramp fix, so I just ate the cramp fix at the 39 and 39 to 38 kilometers. I ate the cramp fix. After 2 minutes or 3 minutes around that, the cramp is totally gone, but I still feel my muscles still a bit hard. So I try not to make too much effort running like that. Drag myself all the way back to the race and the finishing line. Along the run, how many gel I use is I use around 5 gel, 2 different brands. I bring 3 wind spots and 2 hammer gel. So along the route, I use all different kind of gel, these 3 kind of gel. And I have an alternative. I starting with the wind spot, then hammer, wind spot, hammer, and wind spot along the route. So I have target my race and I already know where I should take the gel. So this year, I ate more gel than last year. Last year, I take 4 and have a bong very bad. I think because of my training also. But this year, I have extra gel and able to bring me back much more faster compared to the last year. And this year, lack of training. So next year, I should go much more on the long run, target much more on the long run for my next year. And once I cross the finish line, in 2 hours, 22 minutes and 50 something seconds is around there. So that is my second fastest marathon that I ever ran in my life. So actually it's a very good timing for the race itself. So now we're going to talk about what went well and what not for the event itself. We're starting with the what went well itself. First thing is the race pack collection. The race pack collection is one of the things that we can say huge improvement from last year. If anyone remember, I think most of the people remember what happened last year is everyone have to take their phone, scan this barcode, scan that barcode, only able to get our race pack collection. This year, there is simplified back to the normal. Once you go to the counter itself, you scan, then you get your bib and your t-shirt. There's just one process rather than double or triple the process. Last year, everyone queuing outside of the Klcc outside and zigzag few round before they're able to collect their race pack, and the waiting time is like few hours under the sun itself. This year, there is simplified. You just go to the counter, collect, and go to the export. Even this year, the event hall export is slightly smaller. What I feel is slightly smaller than last year, but it's much more efficient. This is one of the plus point on the event itself. Because of the smaller event, what the export is become tighter. The route of the export is become smaller because of the event hall is smaller. This is one of the downside when you're having a smaller event hall. So everyone is crumbled between the walkway and try to get their good bargain. That when I try to go to every booth for interview people to see what's their best deal and then using the media press, I feel like the route is a bit small. Hopefully they can change it back next year to a bigger hall so that we have a wider route on the expo itself. The other improvement thing is the baggage collection. If you guys remember last year baggage collection is totally nightmare. The baggage collection is not open until 3 a.m. in the morning and the race start at 3:30 a.m. in the morning. Imagine how fast that you can put your luggage, your baggage in and go for warm up and queue into the pen itself in 30 minutes. It seems like impossible. So this year they change it and start earlier. 1:30 everyone can put in their luggage. I remember last year I stuck at the luggage area there and have to put the luggage myself because there's no volunteer there. This year they make a big improvement, the changes, and start 1:30 a.m. in the morning. And during the collection last year, same nightmare. There's not enough volunteer or anything. The baggage is messy up. Everyone queue for 2 hours, 1 hour to just get the luggage itself. For this year, when I just walk in, grab and go, is much more faster than last year. So it's a huge improvement from last year event itself. And one more that goes really well is the hype zone, the cheer zone, that most of the people cheering at the zone itself. It gives a lot of hypes, energies for positive energy to the runner itself. At the cheer zone at the Jalan Daya Bumi, in front of Daya Bumi there's a lot of runners cheering at there. So it will lifts up all the mood and the motivation of the runner to complete the race. And one more thing that I noticed about the cheer zone, this same thing happened to me also. It's happened to everyone because this is subconscious mind. So when we cheering at the end there, even this year organizer put the barricade more down to the Jalan Daya Bumi, more down for that to barricade the runners so that we are not blocking other runners coming back. But on the other end, more near to the 500 meter, there's no barricade. So runners, all the cheer supporter on the road side, we intend to walk further down to the main road. Unconsciously, actually, we are blocking the path of the runner itself. This thing happened to me itself when I try to film some of the shot over there. When someone blocking me in front, then I go further down. When the people go further down, same as the guy behind, also go further down. So unconsciously, we try to we're making the route much more narrow. This thing happened to me also because when I try to cheer, when I start to record something, when someone block, then I try to go further down. When someone block, I try to go further down. Unconsciously, actually, I'm walking inside to the running path itself. Imagine those runner is really tired after finish a 21 kilometer or 42 kilometer, they going for the final dash, but we are blocking their path. So actually, it's quite irritating for the runner itself, and it's happened to me. And I would like to say sorry to the runner that I block you all. So hopefully next year we have much more conscious, self-conscious. Try not to block so much of the road itself. It's good to cheer and support other runners, but when we go to the inner middle, we're starting to block them and they are trying to fight all the way back to the finishing line, especially when they are so tired in the race. They really run 5 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours running. So during the last one, they still need to fight. Actually, it's not really good for them. And one more last thing that not go so well is the medal, the finishing medal. Some of the runners, especially coming back, I think it's around 6 hours plus, the medal is finished. So the volunteer have to write down their name at the boxes. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe some shortage or delivery or logistic happened at there. Some of the runners are unable to get their medal. It happened in some of the event also, but unfortunately it's happened to this event also. It's not really that well. It happened, but the organizer already write down all their names. Hopefully they will email back, post them the medal that they missing. Because of this pass, I'm able to access to different kind of places and talk with different kind of people, the vendor, race winner, elites, a lot of different kind, so that I can able to produce few different kind of video, the race expo, the runner weekends, and some of the other videos. And even though some of the video unable to make the cut because of this is my first time making, the bad video, the bad recording, bad sound of this one. So some of the video, unfortunately, sorry guys, I am unfortunately to make it to the final cut. Because of all this, my YouTube subscriber reached 10,000, over 10,000. So I'm thinking what I can do for repay you guys. So I go stretch my head and find all my running gears. I'm going to see which one I can give to my runners, to my subscriber. And I found this one. This is the Redmi Watch 4. It's a brand new Redmi Watch 4. It haven't opened yet. It's totally brand new. So I'm going to give it to one of my subscriber. So, but one thing, I only able to give you whoever in Malaysia right now only. So I post to you, or you can come collect with me for this watch. What you need to do is, down at the comment there, you need to comment what is your target race and what is your target timing. And I will pick one lucky subscriber to get this smartwatch. And remember, the event, the entry will be closed on this Friday, 25th of October, 10 p.m. So I will announce it a week later who is the winner of this watch. So that's all for the video of the race recap. What's go well and what's not. See you guys on the next video. Bye.